The Transport Minister is looking at the Southern Line rail corridor. And this morning she took a ride from Fish Hoek to Cape Town Station. And we want to talk about the impact of this particular line, but not just this particular line, the provision of efficient, predictable, cost-effective rail transport for commuters in the Western Cape. And transport activist Lorenzo Davids joins the conversation. Lorenzo, thank you very much for being available to us. We appreciate your time. I think as an opener, just talk to us about travelling by rail in the Western Cape, not only from your own experience, but the experience of other people you might have connected with, talked to. I know that you have an avid interest in this.
Yeah, Iman, thank you to you and your viewers. Good morning. Rail is so fundamental, and I thoroughly enjoyed the sort of comeback of the rail service with PRASA, the new train. It's a delight to travel in. Public transport is such an essential part of being good citizens. And you know what? It's the backbone of a flourishing democracy. It's how people travel all across the world. And we've lost so much over the last 3 years around public transport and trains especially. And the sense I get is that people are so enthused that they are thrilled that the trains are back. They talk to us. I interview them. They tell me stories of 2015 when they last used the train, and now they're back in the new train. People have a real sense of they want the trains to be back. And I'm glad the minister's in Cape Town today. I'm glad that PRASA's return of the trains to several new corridors are back up and running. And I must say, commuters are greeting this with a whole lot of enthusiasm.
So that's a really incredible picture, and it's really beautiful to see, as you say, the impact of public transport like this on people's ability to just go about their daily lives and get things done. What's it been like? If, as you say, since 2015, there has been a disruption in the availability of proper running trains?
Yeah, look, the vandalism precedes the sort of COVID period. There was a slow breakdown of the service, unscheduled delays, non-arrival of trains. The service became more and more problematic. And 2020, it just crashed because of COVID and then obviously the vandalism that went around that period. And to see the very professional return of the service is actually quite encouraging. This is not just stations that are open. These are new trains. These are staff and security officials that greet you. These are people that engage you intelligently. It actually is quite a world-class professional service that is on the way back. Yesterday I was on the train again, and security guards who greet you and talk with you and ask you if you feel safe. That's unheard of in the South African public transport system. And yet, train security guards asking you if you feel comfortable on the train and can they help you with anything. So slowly but surely, PRASA is getting something right. And as I said, the minister's in Cape Town today. There's an anticipation that the quality of this new train, the People's Train, the Isitimela Sabantu, that train has transformed people's perspectives of what is possible in public transport in South Africa. This is a world-class train, Iman. It's a very, very good service.
So our reporter was also talking to a PRASA representative earlier who talked about some of the concerns that people who commute by train typically have, and this is around their safety and their security. That Fish Hoek line is going to run, I think it starts between 5 and 9 p.m., and every 20 minutes there would be a service. You talked about having security guards. Not only that, it's going to have CCTV cameras as well. I think you said two per compartment. And there's a button or some, user interactivity tool where you can take a frame of something if you're concerned about something happening. This certainly does place the service in a different category. The concern, though, is, and you mentioned vandalism being one of the reasons why the previous service kind of deteriorated. As a commuter, as somebody who does use the trains, what are your thoughts about user responsibility and behavior, and whether some things will change in preserving the standard that is being presented?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I love the safety features on the train. The train is one long tube, so you see people from the beginning of the train till the end of the train. The CCTV cameras, the air conditioning, the nice seating, the security alarm system within the train if you want to stop the train and speak to the driver or send an alert message. All of those features are within the train. So a commuter can feel absolutely safe. And additional to all of that, you have a security guard every 30 to 40 meters on the train. There's a visible security presence on the train. So all of that sort of contributes to this. What I'm seeing is that people are actually responding in a good way to the service. So for one, I travel with the train virtually daily, and when I get off the train, I always take a photograph of the empty train. And Iman, I have now been on this train for 2 years in the Western Cape. Every single day when I get off the train, there is not a single paper on the floor. I've documented that. I've posted photos of my clean train exit. The commuters are respecting the train. They are not littering on the train. There's no graffiti inside these carriages. And I mean, graffiti is also cool in some parts of the world, and we too love it. But there isn't this mess of a graffiti of people just, damaging the infrastructure of the train. There's no broken seats. There's no scrapings on the walls. So what I'm seeing is the commuter response is one of dignifying the entire process. They're dignifying their own journeys, but they're also dignifying the journeys of others, because it seems like PRASA has given the commuter something that communicates to the commuter that PRASA respects the commuter. And that's the key, Iman. PRASA has shown that they respect the commuter by giving them something that is really world-class.
I want to squeeze in something, but it has to be very quick, Lorenzo. Is the availability to everyone? We know that some of the big communities who are outside the city centre, your Khayelitsha and others, there is a promise. I think they mentioned Khayelitsha and service access a little bit later on. But how deeply connected and available is this line? Because we don't live in Cape Town, so we don't know.
The trains are slowly coming back. It's not available to everybody yet in the way it should be. But the frequency of the service is improving. More lines are more corridors are opening up. And I think that in the Western Cape, that you will see that by August this year, all lines, all corridors will be operating. It's a fantastic service, and it's really worthwhile.
Lorenzo Davids, thank you very much for sharing that news. And we've had a morning where we've been evaluating different projects and anomalies in the provision of services. It's nice to look somewhere in the country and see something that seems to be working, is predictable, good, and has chances to scale.